would appreciate it. Roy Cummings, kind enough to join us once again, Bucs Insider for pewterpirates.com, pewterpirates.com. You can follow Roy on Twitter at rcummingsfhcn, rcummingsfhcn. Roy, top of the morning to you. How are you?
I'm doing well, guys, and it's good to hear from you again. If I'm talking to you guys, it must mean it's football season.
Boy, you got that right, Roy. You got that, Roy. Well, unfortunately, Tom Brady wears a Bucs jersey and gave the ball away like Jameis Winston yesterday. How scared do you think Bucs fans are that TB12, who's never thrown more than 14 interceptions in a season, had 2 in game 1?
Tell you what, I heard a big thud about halfway through that game yesterday, and I think that was the collective heads of all Buccaneers fans dropping to their chins, dropping into their chest, because it was just horribly disappointing to see, in essence, Tom Brady go out there and play like Jameis Winston. And it's the same script. We see that we learn after the game from Bruce Arians that Mike Evans ran the right route. He did what he was supposed to do, and unfortunately, Tom Brady read it wrong and overthrew the ball. And then we have another one where he shouldn't have thrown it at all, and just made the wrong choice. And oh my God, how many times have we seen that? And so yeah, it was a little disappointing, but it kind of goes back to what I said when they got Tom Brady. Look, outside of obviously the 35 picks, or what was it, 45, 55, the 30 picks that Jameis Winston had, their quarterback play wasn't that bad, and it was other things that really sunk the Buccaneers more often than not. And that was it again yesterday. As the quarterback play was standard at best, maybe a little less than that, and then subpar. And then at the end of the day, the rest of the team kind of let them down and didn't do what it was supposed to do. So typical Buccaneers football, guys. One game into the Tom Brady era.
Roy, and usually you're the guy who tries to find the positives, and you try to be glass half full. Let me try to be glass half full today. If I'm a Bucs fan, I have got to believe that with all that talent on offense, that they're going to figure that thing out eventually. So to me, I'm worried about them defensively, and I'm curious to see, do they have a kicker? Well, it wasn't Suckup's fault that field goal got blocked. I mean, Wirfs, the rookie, just let the guy get inside him and block him. Anybody's kick would have been blocked there. So the kicker made the kicks he was supposed to make. And heading into the fourth quarter, Roy, Drew Brees had 94 yards passing. 94 yards passing through 3 quarters. If I want to, defensively, and the kicker was solid, all right, Roy, I got to take the positives where I can find them, because in theory, the rest of the team's supposed to catch up to these units.
Yeah, look, if you're looking for positives, there were a lot. You lose a baseball game 9-5, you're still going to find some positives. You lose a football game the way the Buccaneers did, basically as a result of their own mistakes and miscues, you're going to find some positives. And yeah, I'm right there with you. Look, I thought they found a new weapon in Scotty Miller. I thought I liked the fact that you can really change pace with the running game. I thought Ronald Jones ran very well. Didn't have a lot of room to run, but I thought when he did, he made good yards, and I liked what I saw out of Leonard Fournette. Even liked what I saw of LaShawn McCoy. He got out there for a couple of snaps here and there, made some catches, and moved the ball. I really, really liked what I saw out of the front seven defensively. As you pointed out, they didn't give Drew Brees a whole lot of room to throw, and I thought the defense made enough plays to win the game. Unfortunately, they made enough mistakes to lose it. But I think at the end of the day, there were a lot of positives in this game. Quarterback play wasn't one of them, but there were a lot of positives there, and I think there's a lot to take away and say, okay, this team could still win 8, 9, 10 games. I didn't have them beating the Saints on opening day anyway. It was more kind of, to me, a kind of an experiment of, okay, where is this team under Tom Brady? And I see that they're kind of same place they were a year ago, that other areas have to really step things up. But I think in time, Brady is going to be fine. I think the team is going to be good. And I still think they can win 8, 9, maybe even 10 games going forward.
And I'm with you on all of those, Roy. The other positive to me was really their first drive. They went down the field, and I get it. It didn't go that well after that. But I'm watching Tom Brady pick and choose who he wants. Guys are getting open, and it seemed early on that, all right, this is what we're going to see more of. Now, after the scripted plays, it didn't go that well, but it certainly looked that when they have Evans and Godwin, as you mentioned, Miller, that if anybody paid any attention, you knew that this Scotty Miller was going to be a part of the offense. He'd had a great training camp, and everybody was raving about how much he and Brady had a rapport. I thought the running game needed improvement, but there were spots of brilliance. Look, at the end of the day, is the offensive line any good? Because that's the one part. We know the receivers are good. We know Tom Brady's going to get better. Can they block?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We did not get the answer we wanted on that yesterday. I saw a great tweet from Mark Cook. I'll give it up to him, of pewterreport.com, not pewterpirates.com, who said, turns out that Donovan Smith opted out anyway. So that was a bit shot, but it was well warranted, I think. Tristan Wirfs, look, here's one of the problems when you bring in a rookie at right tackle and expect him to play like a 5-year veteran. Well, it's not going to happen. Guess what? So this is just in. So, I'm not surprised that Wirfs struggled at times, including on that field goal attempt. So, am I worried going forward about the tackle position? Yeah, I am. I'm worried about the offensive line because that's what's got to keep Tom Brady upright. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we found out that after that game was all said and done, as they're walking off the field, Tom Brady didn't walk up to Jameis Winston and said, now I understand. Now I get it. I'm surprised you didn't throw 40 interceptions last year. You're on your back all day with these guys. You're throwing off your back foot all day. But, the first interception was that. He was throwing off his back foot because he didn't have time. And there were a couple other throws where he just didn't have time to really step into it. And how many times did we say that about Jameis Winston last year? Or in the previous,
or the year before that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we always said if Jameis could, had a clean pocket, he'd probably be a much better quarterback. Well, guess what? Tom Brady would have been much better yesterday too, and the game might have turned out differently if he had a little bit more time. But that is something they got to work on. And one thing I'll say, the one good thing I saw out of Rob Gronkowski was I saw him block well a couple of times. He looks horribly slow moving down the field. I guess his hands are all right, but he's got to catch up to the ball, and I don't know that that's going to happen. So back on the negatives, I didn't like what I saw out of him, or obviously the offensive line.
He's Roy Cummings, pewterpirates.com, pewterpirates.com. Follow him on Twitter at rcummingsfhcn, rcummingsfhcn. It was interesting to me how much Cameron Brate was the odd guy out yesterday. Gronk, I think, got the most snaps of all the tight ends. And, O.J. Howard a close second. But, Cameron Brate's a pretty damn good tight end. And I don't know if he was on the field for 12 snaps yesterday. I'm curious how long that can continue.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Look, when you've got 3 tight ends who all deserve the ball, somebody's just going to be left out. It's like Mike Evans got left out a little bit yesterday. A lot of that is just coverage, too. What does the coverage dictate? Where does it dictate you throw the ball? And, I think it's going to change. I think they'll figure out a way to mix it up. They'll look at the tape and they'll probably realize that maybe Gronkowski isn't that much of a weapon anymore, and Cameron Brate could get more time there. But look, they drafted O.J. Howard, 3 years ago for a reason, and the reason is they thought he would be an elite tight end, and he started to look a little bit more elite-like. Yesterday he caught the ball, which was to me has been the biggest thing for him. He didn't let it roll up his back and into somebody else's hands. So he caught the ball, ran good routes, got open. So I think he deserved the ball. He did what he was supposed to do. Cameron Brate, obviously, he's got some work to do probably to earn his spot, and that might just work out on his own. He may that work there. That may all work out for him, naturally. Because I just don't think they're going to get much out of Gronkowski. He certainly doesn't look good right now.
No, he doesn't. But I'm with you. I thought Howard did, and I think that will continue to improve. Did they have? It's a good problem, Roy. But you've got 3 tight ends that are supposed to get snaps. If Miller's any kind of a player, now you got 3 receivers that want balls, and you have 3 running backs that want balls. Are there too many guys for one football right now, Roy?
Yeah, that's a good question. No, there's no such thing because injuries are going to hit. Somebody's going to come out of the game sore one day, and they're going to need the other guy to step up. The fact that I already said it, running back, I think you can really change pace with those three guys a lot. To me, they're all effective in their own way. I like the fact that they've got so many weapons to turn to. Yesterday I think they turned more to a weapon that people didn't expect unless you've been, in practice every day with these guys and Scotty Miller. And, going forward, that's going to open things up for Mike Evans. Look, it's not a bad thing if you just keep throwing the ball downfield all day and get pass interference penalties, because that's one way of moving the ball down the field in today's NFL. And good, give Tom Brady credit for taking advantage of that when he sees the one-on-one matchups for Mike Evans, and really the defender can't defend him. You're going to get something positive out of that. So I don't think there's too many weapons. I can't imagine Tom Brady is just over the moon over the fact that he's got so many to turn to after coming off a year where it seemed like he might have had one each game. Now he's got 5 or 6, and he doesn't know what to do with it.
Carolina at home this week, then it's at Denver and home for the Chargers. So a softer spot on the schedule, if you will. 3 teams who didn't have a winning record a year ago. I mean, that's a whole heck of a lot different than at New Orleans to start the year. I mean, we should start to see Tampa settle in here. You got to figure they got to win 2 of these next 3, and ideally they'd run the table.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think they should win. Certainly go. Let's just look at next week. I mean, haven't seen the injury report, how things came out of there, but look, the fact that Mike Evans even played, I think, is a big positive. I was concerned that when you hear hamstring, you think, especially with Mike Evans, because he's had it before, you think, boy, that could be 4 or 5 weeks. He played fine. I doubt that there was any setback for him because he was playing late. Again, the running game looks solid. There's obviously some areas they got to clean up, but it's all fixable. And I would think they could fix stuff you can usually fix in a week. The tackle situation, maybe not the case, but they'll give those guys some more time, some more help over there as they go forward. So I feel good certainly about this game coming up next week. Carolina obviously trying to figure things out under a new coach. I saw a little bit of their game yesterday. Didn't really like what I saw out of them. Not really sure that they got the right coach there. I was a big Ron Rivera fan. I thought they had something pretty good in him to begin with. So I would favor the Bucs going forward. This game coming up this week, I wouldn't look past that, but because you never know what's going to happen. But right away, 1-1 seems very doable.
Roy, as always, thanks so much for your time and your insight. Be safe, stay well, and we look forward to talking to you again.
I'm looking forward to it as well, guys.